Alan Keating and Daniel Negreanu are beefing, kinda. Mike Mattisell pissed at his price in the fantasy draft. Phil Ivey says he's no longer black, and the world's most hated poker player has risen again. These stories and more here from Las Vegas tonight on...
You're a champion.
Hi, I'm Ryan Depaulo, and welcome. This is a special edition of the DGen Debrief, as we are coming to you live in Las Vegas at the World Series of Poker, here from the the Coin Poker Code RDP Miz Mansion. There's so much going on. The series just started a couple days ago. Let's get you right into the stories. He had been voted the #1 most hated opponent in all of poker, and now the staff has had enough as well. Martin the Dirty Gerbil Kabrhel, player from the Czech Republic with about 14 million in live tournament earnings, was in the final 10 players of the 5K PLO bracelet event, when after getting the clock called on him for literally every hand for multiple orbits, the floor gave him a permanent 10-second shot clock. Kabrhel has been accused of marking cards, pretending to be cheating to throw opponents off, being just a general dick, and the most egregious stalling ever seen. Players are so fed up with Kabrhel's antics, it got to the point where in last year's 250K super high roller, some players said they wouldn't play if he were allowed to, and they even stuck to it and sat out. But Kabrhel is hated, amongst other things, primarily for doing this on every single hand when it has no tactical advantage.
Martin's antics at the table are worse than anyone I've played with. Playing with him is unbelievably unpleasant, rude. He takes the full 30 seconds every time. Last night, playing with him, it felt like something not kosher was going on.
Kabrhel is amazing at pissing other players off, something I know nothing about. A lot of players are shocked when they have to be at the same table as Kabrhel, not because of the tanking and annoying gameplay, they're just actually shocked a Euro has a personality. I was confused too until I just learned that the Czech Republic actually qualifies him as a Euro. I always thought that was a clothing brand. Many, as I said, have called for him to be banned, but it seems the World Series of Poker are just going to continue to fake be stricter with him, which is the same strategy ACR uses with bots. You could sign up, but just keep it within reason. I've never played with Kabrhel personally, but I don't think that I would let somebody with the same haircut as a Lego guy get under my skin. I do know someone who has played with him though, my DGen Debrief correspondent and confirmed for fat Daniel Lazarus. He played with Kabrhel a little bit at last year's World Series of Poker. Let's take a look.
Martin Kabrhel was at my table for all 20 minutes, and he was sitting there with his phone playing music loud on repeat, the same fucking song. He pulled like this epic fucking slow roll on some like poor Bulgarian dude. Guy goes all in for like 12 bigs. He looks down his hand, he looks at the guy, he's like, is it okay if I slow roll you? Guy's like, yeah, that's fine. And then he looks at me, he's like, New York. The only issue is I don't have a good hand to slow roll with. Okay? He calls and he has ace king city.
I love that. Martin ended up finishing third in this PLO event and cashing for 288K. Sideshow Bob, aka Caleb Fruth, aka Bruno, aka, I don't know, ended up winning the bracelet, taking home $620,000 of prize money. Congrats, Bruno, and good luck with the inevitable tweets from Bonomo about how your haircut is really racist. In a meeting of the villains, Kabrhel was even spotted playing at the same table as Maurice Hawkins. One of the players at that table made a controversial move when he deliberately chip dumped to another player just so he can get one of his AirPods. We all know about fantasy sports, but did you know there's a huge 25K entry fantasy poker league every year? Well, you do now. It's because of this league that Daniel Negreanu started backing me in the first place last year, as I was to be a pawn on his team, possibly, where he was going to buy himself for a ton of money and then have a bunch of $1 scrubs, including myself, that he could dictate the schedule. That didn't shake out as he realized that I sucked in the middle of the draft. Anyway, after this year's draft, two of the biggest memes in the poker world walked away quite butthurt. Mike the Mobility Mattisell and Alan the Hedge Trimmer Kessler were very unhappy after the results of the 25K buy-in draft, as Alan went undrafted altogether and Mike went for a mere $3.
Why do I get deserve this?
Mike was extra mad though because he fell off a ladder.
My dumbass decided to climb a ladder in my house to get my sick cat to come down from a ledge so we can eat. Only half foot of the ladder to give out and find myself in the ER.
I avoided serious injury even though I can barely move. What the fuck is he talking about? No, of course Mikey is mad because of his price in the draft. Alan Kessler is also upset because he wasn't drafted at all. Despite being year-over-year losing poker player, this is the angriest he's been since the cost of a plain McDouble went up by 30 cents. Nick Palma, another poker meme in his own right, representing all of Borgata scum, was actually drafted for the first time this year by Team DNegs for $1. When asked about this decision, Daniel said he did this because Nick Palma is so retarded, it's technically a charitable contribution and could be used as a tax write-off. Nicky was even trending on Hendon Mob for a few days, as everyone in the poker world looked him up to find out who he was because now at least the women he lies to this summer won't feel as bad when they Google him the next morning, expecting the world's top poker player to come up. But will being drafted mitigate Nikki's annual "nobody believes in me" Twitter rant? Experts say no. Alan and Mike have both vowed that this year will be their year, and they will prove everyone wrong. And guys, I hate to break it to you, but that's literally what all 8,000 fucking people going to the main event think. They're all wrong except me. Ryan Depaulo cashed the deuce to 7 no limit 1500 single draw event for a 4th year in a row. This story isn't even on the script, but fuck your mother. I can't say that. Use a code if you, I don't know what I'm talking about. In another story, 2 more instant millionaires were created again at this year's kickoff event in the World Series 1K entry mystery millions extrava fuckface. Fuck the zoo. One of the bounties went to Thomas Zanat, who actually in 2023 won $6.5 million winning a Pai Gow Poker progressive jackpot, so don't be happy for him. But we can be happy for the other winner, 23-year-old Chainsmokers fan Tyler Montoya. And he said this after the win.
Tyler, you must be feeling absolutely amazing. A millionaire at 23. What's the plans going forward with winning $1 million?
So I'm still going to keep playing, but if you're a stripper at the strip club, you should be working tonight.
Nice win, Tyler, but just so you know, you don't have to actually give the women the million to have them take off their clothes. You can just show it to them. Speaking of sick dubs, fellow coin poker ambassador Patrick Leonard got a huge score, finishing 4th in the 25K heads up WSOP bracelet event, cashing for $180,000. I actually went to show my support on the rail, but I'm pretty sure I mushed him.
Entice a call at least.
And there is the limp jam from Martirosian. Leonard's going to check his cards and make the call.
Here you can see my obese dad bod show up on the rail one hand before he's eliminated, and then when he's at risk,
Let's see.
Patrick ignoring me.
On the ropes to go to the final 2.
6 of hearts on the end, and that's going to do it.
He had
Another interesting registrant in the 25K was friend to the channel, Alan Keating, who said he'd only done so because backer of the channel, Daniel Negreanu, was in the same event. The two have been kind of challenging each other, going back and forth with lighthearted poker jibber-jabber on Twitter.
I saw him call me out. It was kind of cute. But you know what I'd like to see him do? I'd like to see you, Alan, step out of your comfort zone and sit with Chidwick and Kuhn and Mateos and Bajikowski and Martirosian and play cash with them one day instead of 5 random blind guys. Maybe let's just, I think that's what the world wants to see. You against really, really good players. Good luck.
The two never got to sit at the same table, unfortunately, in the event, though, because D-Negs was still running deep in the $5,000 PLO dealing with Kabrhel. Keating told Poker News, I offered him to play against guys like me. Guys he say can hardly play poker. And he comes back to me with an offer to play against all the superstars. I get what Keating is saying. I mean, why would he play against people like Fox and Erasmus when he could literally every night play against a guy named Airball who was going to Venmo him his whole $500,000 stack? But in this whole debate of game selection versus playing against the best, Keating is kind of sounding like that drunk dad who hit a home run in his son's 4th of July father-son T-ball game. It's like, dude, the center fielder was eating bugs and pissed himself. You got to level up. You're kind of playing in the Special Olympics when you're playing with Nick Airball and these LA fucks. Keating actually busted in the second level to David Chen. Keating was quoted as saying he just lost his focus and Chen played better. And I'm sure Keating really must have just been a little off. Something with the SPR or just a little off on his bet sizing that day. Some minor tweaks. Not like he made some huge ridiculous mistake lighting 25K on fire.
95,200. Call 95,200.
Great game. Good luck to you. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, he went all in blind again. Let's keep the dust storm rolling. Rampage is back in the news. Not for winning, obviously, but for getting banned from the WSOP Plus app. The new app, which is fucking amazing. You can register on your phone. You don't need to go print out a ticket. You can see the other names at your table. Payouts are easier. It is so amazing, guys, and I want to give them credit because we shit on them when they goof. Now, I make fun of him a lot on this show, and it's all in good fun, but for real, I feel for the guy. I mean, that would definitely ruin my summer if I got banned from the app. I'm sure it's just some bullshit reason like they hate content creators, right? I don't know what's more embarrassing, spamming your sign-up code on an app where people just want to punt in peace or getting dunked on by Poker News. I do give Rampage so much shit though, so I thought I would actually show you guys how serious I am about my opinion of his game.
Last year, I made a bet, and I bet on myself that I would make money during the WSOP season, and some big pros like Chris Moneymaker, Chris Brewer faded me, and they actually made money at the end of it because I ended up losing money on the bet the last WSOP season. This year, I'm opening that same exact bet in those same conditions to anti-sweat me this year for WSOP. So if anybody who thinks that I'm going to lose money or wants action and bet on it, you can do that. Thank you to State Kings for escrowing all of the money on both sides.
I went ahead and took him up on this. For the largest prop bet I've ever made in my life, a wager of $5,000. Okay, Katie, the video is over. $20,000. It's the max win or loss. It's 4% of his total wins or losses up to $500K. I did sell 1% to Danny though, so it's actually only $15K. Now listen, this is the slam dunk cold killer lock of the century, but that doesn't mean I don't want your help. If you end up at a table with Rampage this summer, I would ask you to please go ahead and DM him on Instagram with a fake business opportunity. Not only will you distract him from the poker, but you might actually get sent money. Speaking of Asians, here's an awkward moment caught on stream as this guy Norman really goes all in for the racist joke at the 5K Hold'em final table.
Won the 1600 at the win during the WPT World Championship Series.
I want him to call it so much. It looked like a piece of bullshit. And he has a piece of bullshit too.
You had a piece of bullshit on Ace 9-5.
I definitely have, yeah. But you have a
different river.
slightly...
I send you back China. First class on me.
I think Norman thought he was playing blackjack, the way he doubled down with the Asian accent too. You can tell after he said it, he wanted to take it back because he immediately was like, whoa. I mean, first class. Like, I'll send you back to China first class. This is like if you were yelling at black people to go back to fucking Africa, but then you're like, but it'll be all expenses included cruise. I don't think that makes it much better.
What up? It's the Trooper.
Oh, everyone, you know what that sound means. It's time for the Coin Poker Code RDP Troopers Moment of the Week. Let's see what he's talking about now.
This is Coin Poker's Code RDP Trooper Moment.
Some dude who makes YouTube videos and apparently plays poker as well had talked a little bit of micro shit about me in his video. I guess the dude was trying to be something that he's not, which is funny, but it's obvious that the only reason he mentioned my name is to get attention from Daddy, because now he's scrolling through the comments on my videos, digging around for comments that mention him, because he's then replying to those comments. How desperate for attention from Daddy do you have to be?
First of all, I'm not doing this to get attention from Daddy. If I wanted that, this would be called the Coin Poker D-Negs Moment of the Week. But I maybe do think Trooper is actually right. I am kind of just doing this for attention if I'm being real. I probably should be more like him and make content that is for no one and makes you question why you pay $80 a month for your internet connection. Speaking of Daddy D-Negs, he's doing his thing. He's running deep. He's had a great start to the series. He got second in the 10K 08. He's fucking putting out content every single day while being the #1 ambassador. I know. His cock is clogging up my mouth. I know. But this isn't just because I know him and he's holding my life together in pieces, but it's because it's true. He's the best ambassador and he fucking puts out content every day and he sleeps in the walls of the Paris. Going into the walls. There goes Mike. My favorite parts of his vlog, though, are when he shows that he's just an everyday normal person like you or I.
We got a frozen deal. Oh, there's a sauce bag. That's going to be difficult. Okay, so 3 to 5 minutes, microwave on high. Stick this guy in here. What did it say, 3 minutes? I don't have that much time. Dude, it's hard as a rock. All right, so I decided to take the sauce out of the pouch. All right, wear white shorts, he says. What is this? A little bit of that. Let's check it out. 17 seconds to go. Okay, let me see. Ice. Oh my God, it's cold. Whatever. Gotta eat, gotta run.
Damn, Daniel, that lunch kind of looks like what you eat on your 20-minute break at the Amazon factory, not dinner break in a $10,000 entry tournament. I gotta make him some money, yo.
Make the booty bounce on the dance floor.
Now, he doesn't deserve any applause. He called with King Jack.